Astin for the Metal Gods Meltdown, and today I am joined by.
My name is Jordan Carlson. I'm from Skipping Stone.
It's great to be chatting to you this evening. First up, can you give us a little bit of insight into the EP? It's more of an album, actually, isn't it?
It's
And
pretty close.
and what's the feedback been like so far?
Good. It was a work for our entire year. We released each song individually as singles throughout the year, and then put a collection at the end. It right on the cusp of being a full album, but really, really close. We decided to go with an EP route on that, and it was an evolving work of art, I'll say, throughout the whole year.
Brilliant. As the state of the world and coming from the poorest state of Kentucky in the USA, is that right? Has that had a
Mhm.
big effect on your writing for this EP?
Um, yes and no. We've been constantly trying to, play shows and do stuff. We travel quite a bit around the states there to get to new places all the time. And we started in the state of, of COVID and the lockdowns and everything is when we started. So we were just kind of born into it, if that makes sense. So we don't know any different. Um,
Yeah,
it's been an interesting ride so far, and can't wait to see what happens next.
brilliant. So with the EP released, do you plan to have like a release party with that or do a live stream of it or something?
I think we really like to. Holidays coming up right now, so everything's just kind of done for the moment. We're taking a breather. I'm away visiting family with from the other guys there, and everybody else is kind of taking that. But we have some connections back home to some really nice venues, and we'd like to maybe do something a little special for that. Bring in some of our good friends that we've played with over the years to do a special EP show.
That'd be amazing. So have you ever managed to get across the pond into Europe?
No, no, that would
No.
be awesome though. We are still a relatively new band. We formed in the summer of 2020.
Yeah.
Um, but that is it is a goal to get over there.
But the reason I ask is for a small band, you've got a hell of a following already, haven't you, on Facebook and that? You've got like a lot of
Yeah, we really learned how to work that Facebook algorithm a while back, and that's worked well for us. It doesn't translate to other social medias or anything else like that, but it's helpful and to have a nice crowd of people that are interested in what you're doing.
That's brilliant. So what would you say is your favorite track on the EP today and why?
Man, I really like Straight Jacket.
That's my favorite.
Thanks, man. Thanks, man. It
Yeah.
was the last one we did for the year, and it's the heaviest. Um, it was just something different. We've been wanting to kind of push the boundaries on what we do. We straddle that line between metal and hard rock, and we just decided to go, full bore into it. Normally, I do the predominant of the vocals, and I decided to. This one called for some Tom on it, and he's the one that does all those gutturals that sound so good, and those choruses on that one. Um, which allows me to do a little bit more of a more technical work on the guitar and stuff, and just really think about the production of the song on that one. I think we really put the most heart into that one out of all the songs on that EP.
So going back to the singles you have released, then so what's the feedback been like generally then from fans? Has that been like really good as well and positive?
We get a mixture of stuff, especially because we're not so confined to one specific sound. For instance, the opening title track there, "Burn It Down," definitely has more of like a almost kind of a classic rock kind of vibe to it, almost a punk vibe to it.
Yeah.
Um, and that goes over well with a large portion of our audience who tend to be a little bit on the older side in the 30s and 40s anyways. But then we have songs like "Chasing Ghosts," which is definitely more on like the 2000s post-punk vibes, which is kind of more my bread and butter.
Yeah.
um, and I love that track, but it was an entirely different crowd, and it still kind of manages to fit along. And then you bring in Straight Jacket, that's got that definitely slower emotional vibe to it, and
Yeah.
the feedback that we've been getting on that track has been really good so far.
Brilliant. So what are your plans then for next year, tour and festival wise? I mean, I don't really know a lot about the states for festivals. I mean, is there any big festivals
There's
coming up?
some huge ones in our hometown. We have Louder Than Life Festival, which is a Danny Wimmer festival. If you know him, he does
Mhm.
Aftershock and
Yeah.
Sonic Temple and things like that. We really hope to get on that one, being that it is home for us. We have signed up already and announced is on Gettysburg Bike Week, which is northeast of us in Pennsylvania. We're excited for that one. I've got some family and friends up there that'll be coming out for that. We'll be playing with I believe Saliva and Drowning Pool are headlining that one. Should be a
Awesome.
great time. Um, Hoping to do some more out of town stuff. I'm getting some inquiries from Indianapolis last night that we were talking to, maybe setting something up there as well.
Well, that's amazing. Well, like I say, hopefully you'll get over to the UK and into mainland Europe next year or in a few years' time. That'd be fantastic.
Mhm.
Um, so going back in time, then, can you remember the first time you ever stood on a stage? How it felt?
I was a teenager, man. I had started a little punk band, and we did a talent show, and we played some Green Day, and we won the talent show. It was pretty awesome. I was nervous as all get out, man, but it's a great time.
Awesome. So, what would you then say is the best and the worst thing about touring? I mean, guessing living in the States, you have to fly everywhere, really, don't you? If you want to go to major cities.
We drive most everything right
Yeah.
now. We got a bus. Luckily, our guitar player works on big vehicles full time, so if
Right.
something ever happens, we're covered. But touring is it's a whole different world these days. It seems like you have a better audience if you focus your goal is to making a digital reach rather than a physical reach. The
Mm, of
physical is just a little bit, it's got more heart to it. It's got more reality.
course.
It's tangible.
Yeah.
Um, it's a different world, Bands used to just go out there and ride the road every day and hoping to build that fan base. And it seems now that you could sink those same efforts into some good advertising and hit more people
Yeah.
that way.
So, are you guys obviously be on TikTok and Instagram and all of that lot? Yeah.
We
Yeah.
are at Skipping Stone Official on all platforms, whether it's TikTok, Threads, or Facebook or Instagram.
Right. You're going to be asked this question shitloads, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Why the name Skipping Stone?
That's actually a really cool story. When I auditioned for the band, they already had the name. They had two guitar players, a drummer, no vocalist or bass player. So I auditioned for both vocalist and bass player and got neither of the jobs. Um, uh, they said, Jordan, you're a better guitar player, and I am a better guitar player than anything else. Um, so they added me as a third guitar player. We auditioned a few more singers and never really found the right match. So I just kind of assumed the position. We hired a bass player and we got to work right away. But the name came from another local band, good friends of ours. They were called Hidden Foundation, and they had a single that they wrote called Skipping Stones. And the guys were just so talented, and it was inspiration for what got this band started before I even joined. And so they requested permission to use the name.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
here we are.
I love it, man. Love it. All right. And so then going back in time, what first introduced you to this thing we called heavy metal, hard rock?
Man, it would have to be my dad. My dad was a musician through and through his life. He started early in the 80s, played in a band called Puppet that toured quite a bit. They played with Kiss and a few other big names like Enough's Enough, if you like that.
Yeah, I remember them. Yeah. They're still
Yeah,
going.
they still are. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But he was the one that introduced me to all that. He's been in so many different bands over the years, and then they did Beatles tributes from there. He's the one that got me to start playing, and then I bought my first CDs that I bought for myself were Linkin Park Hybrid Theory and the POD Satellite
Oh, brilliant.
CD,
Yeah.
and those
Right.
were just life changing for me, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially that POD album.
Yeah. Linkin Park Hybrid Theory is probably one of my favorite albums, actually. I love it. It's
It's
fantastic.
up there,
The
man.
crossover. All right. So if there was a heavy metal song about yourself, what would it be called? Or what could it be called?
Probably I Can't Hear You. It's a true story though. I have a disease that is actually eating away my hearing. It causes terrible balance and other things like that. I developed it when I was a teenager, and I have to wear hearing aids regularly just to communicate.
Right. Okay.
So my hearing is limited and will deteriorate over the rest of my life. So uh, I just want to use it while I got it.
Totally, man. Absolutely. Okay. Is there then a particular song that you wish you had written? There'll be many.
Man. Um, sure. You ever listen to Carnival?
Yeah. It goes.
They're from Australia,
Right.
they had a song Themata. I think that whole album honestly is just amazing. But the guitar work alone, the vocalist Ian McKenney is just phenomenal. I wish I wish I was that good.
All right. Okay, man. So can you then give us 4 words to describe Skipping Stones?
Tipping Stone, and how many words?
4.
4 words. Um, Shoot, man. Fun, silly, um, rock, and guitar. All the
Cool.
guitar, man.
Cool. All right. So finally, there's going to be 5 fast questions. So the first thing that comes to your mind. So the first one is your favorite album.
Favorite album. Um, All I Know, Carnival.
Cool. Okay. Favorite drink.
Favorite drink. A&W root beer right here.
Yeah. Cool. I'm drinking tea, man. Been boring. Okay. Favorite food.
Ooh, bulgogi.
Awesome. Your favorite pastime.
Guitar.
And who would you say is your favorite inspirational person?
My dad. My dad
That's
was.
great. I want to thank you so much for your time, mate. Do you have any final words for your fans, our viewers, and listeners?
Uh, Thank you for checking us out, for consistently supporting us and streaming us. Uh, Thank you again for having me on here, and hope to hear from you very soon and come pay a visit.
Speak soft, be not afraid.